Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to discuss bioisosterism. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and share this video to your friends. Bioisosterism. So this topic is present for both BPharm students and also for the PharmD students. Now I am discussing in detail about this bioisosterism classification along with its applications. Please subscribe. Bioisosterism. So bioisosteric replacement is the principal guide followed by medicinal chemists in developing analogues of the lead compound, whether as agonistic or antagonistic of biological effects. So this sentence is clearly telling that if any lead compound need to generate by the medicinal chemist need to consider the bioisosterism application. So if you want to convert any hit molecule to lead molecule in the drug discovery process, so we need to convert that hit to lead with a minimum toxic effects. So to reduce the toxic effects, we can apply the changing of any group, functional group, any one atom or group if we are replacing to reduce that toxic effects. So that only we are calling it as bioisosterism, replacing of the bioisosteric, and that will not going to affect that much of effect in the biological activity. So what will be changed by the bioisosteric replacement in the molecule? So these are the different changes we can observe in the molecule, like molecular size, steric shape, bond angles, hybridization, electron distribution, lipid solubility, water solubility, dissociation constant, the chemical reactivity to cell components and metaboliting enzymes, and capacity to undergo the hydrogen bonding at the receptor interactions. So these properties may be altered either to decrease the toxic effects or to increase the biological effect in the hit to lead molecule generation. So keeping in view the numerous advantageous applications of isosterism in resolving biological problems effectively. So the isosterism, similar group we are replacing, having the similar these functionalities or parameters. So the Friedman proposed the following definition: bioisosterism, that is nothing but the phenomenon by which compounds usually fit the broadest definition of isosteres and possess the same type of biological activity. So which are the possible of similar type of isostere if we are replacing in a molecule that should not be affect in the biological activity, we can consider it as a bioisosterism. So bioisosteres are functional groups or molecules that have chemical and physical similarities producing broadly similar biological properties. So it is a functional group or molecule if you are replacing in the substance or in the molecule. So this does not going to affect in the biological property, but it may having the some changes in the physical and chemical properties, but almost having the similarities we can observe what we are replacing. So in order to develop a new drug, the structure of the drug is considered to consist of two parts. So any drug, if you are considering a new drug, we need to see that in the new drug two parts is present. One is non-critical or non-essential part, one is critical or essential part. So one is non-critical, another one is critical. So non-critical or non-essential part is nothing but the part allows sufficient changes without considerable change in the biological activity. So if you change this group or functional group or moiety in the drug molecule, that will not going to affect in the biological activity. The non-critical part allows sufficient changes. We can make a sufficient changes in this part without any considerable changes in the biological activity. So the various molecular modifications done on this non-critical part of the classified as follows. So most of the bioisosterism applies we are doing by this non-critical part only we are taking, and we are changing the functional groups or moieties we are replacing, that does not going to affect in the biological activity. So you can see three types of this non-critical or non-essential part in the drug molecule. One is selective force. So those modifications which confirm selectivity in action of the drug by regulating drug distribution. So the drug distribution is regulating, if you are modifying any means, we can call it as selective force. and contactophores, the modification which by increasing penetration help the drug to reach the receptor site, we can call it as contactophores. And carrier moieties are conducting moieties. So these moieties increase affinity of your drug. So these are the different part of the drug we can consider. If you are changing also, that is not going to affect in the biological activity. So that's non-critical part of your drug molecule is not involved in the drug receptor interaction, but is involved in passive transport of the drug. So if you observe all these parts, it is completely influencing in the passive transport only, but that is not that much of affecting in the binding of your drug in the drug pocket or in the binding pocket. The second one is the critical or essential part in the drug molecule. So while any change or modification of critical part of the drug molecule will result in the change of its biological activity. So this part is very essential in the drug molecule to bind with the receptor and going to produce its biological activity. If you are modifying these critical part or essential part in the drug molecule, ultimately the biological activity is going to affected. So only those groups having similar steric, electronic and solubility characteristics can be interchanged. So the study of such groups and their application in medicinal chemistry, we are going to call it as bioisosterism. So for instance, among antihistamines, it is always preferable to have small compact substituents on the terminal nitrogen. So an example I am giving here to understand the concept of this critical and non-critical part of the molecule. So here see that antihistaminic drug. So three structural analogs are there here having the similarity. But if you see that drug is having a small change in the terminal nitrogen, so this terminal nitrogen having the change, so here it is cyclopentane is there, so here diethyl groups are present, here dimethyl groups are present, only the change we can observe in these positions. So by modification in this region, so it is influencing the so much of in the activity. So the A, this pyrrolidone analog, possesses twice the activity of C. So in comparing with the C, so it is having the twice activity, whereas it shows an activity that is many times greater than that of the open chain dimethyl amino analog. But when comparing with this diethyl analog, it is having of so much of greater activity in the pyrrolidine ring system. So twice it is with the C and many folds you can observe with the B. So the conversion of this acyclic part into cyclic part, so the activity is much increased. So come to the bioisosterism classification. So bioisoters are mainly classified into two types, classical bioisoters and non-classical bioisoters. So first we can see about the classical bioisoters, then we can go to the non-classical bioisoters. Classical bioisoters means, so they have the similarities in shape and electronic configuration. What is the functional group or moiety we are changing in the drug molecule? These having the similarity in their shape and electronic configuration of atoms or groups or molecules, what we are replacing. So the logical use of biological replacement in the design of new target drug molecules solely and significantly depends on the specific biological system under critical investigation. So hence there are no predetermined, well-established, predictable, hard and fast guidelines are like generalized rules that may be useful to a medicinal chemist to affect biosteric replacement gainfully towards the improved biological activity. There are no guidelines in this, so frequently we need to change the different groups and we need to observe its shape and electronic configuration is changing or not, and we need to observe the influencing in the biological activity or not. So we can see the various classical bioisosteres with their appropriate examples are giving here. So first one, it is monovalent atoms or groups. If you are going to replace in the drug molecule, like fluorine we are replacing with the hydrogen, OH group we are replacing with the NH. So fluorine we are replacing with the OH, NH2, CH3 are H hydrogen atoms, and SH and OH, chlorine, bromine and CF3. So likewise we can see the replacement of any one with the another one. So you can see one best example for this monovalent atoms or groups, that is uracil and 5-fluorouracil. So we know that uracil at the fifth position hydrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this hydrogen atom, fifth position of hydrogen atom replaced with the fluorine atom gives 5-fluorouracil was with the anti-cancer activity. By replacement of hydrogen with the fluorine, The uracil is converting into 5-fluorouracil. So this 5-fluorouracil having the anti-cancer activity. So by the single atom modification with the fluorine atom, so much of activity difference is there. So the steric parameter for hydrogen and fluorine are similar. Their van der Waals radii is nearly 1.2 and 1.35 angstroms respectively. So these two are not having that much of variation. Somewhat similar we can observe. So easily we can replace. So the enzyme thymidylate synthase is involved in the conversion of uridylic acid to thymidylate acid in DNA synthesis. So the fluorine in 5-fluorouracil forms a covalent binding with the enzyme and inhibits it. So how the mechanism of action of 5-fluorouracil, it is binding with the enzyme, that is thymidylate synthase enzyme. So by this enzyme it is blocking, by blocking of this enzyme, so we cannot see the conversion of uridylic acid to thymidyllic acid in the DNA synthesis. If it is not having any DNA synthesis, there is destruction of the cell. See some other examples for monovalent atoms or groups replacement. So hypoxanthine. So this is the structure of hypoxanthine. So we can see the presence of OH group at 6th position, replacing of that OH group with the SH group, thiol group. So in hypoxanthine 6th position hydroxyl group is replaced with the thiol group, gives a 6-mercaptopurine. 6-mercaptopurine, this drug also having the anti-cancer activity. So some other examples, folic acid and aminopterin. So folic acid, the 4th position of hydroxyl group. So here this position, the 4th position hydroxyl group replaced with amino group gives the aminopterin of anti-neoplastic drug. So OH group replacing with the amino group, going to give the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th position. The replacement of OH with amino group increasing the activity, that is anti-neoplastic activity drug is going to produce. So you can see next, that is replacement of amino group by methyl in oral hypoglycemic carbutamide gives tolbutamide. So in this R position, the replacement of amino group, NH2 group, we are replacing with the methyl group, that is carbutamide gives the tolbutamide. So which possesses the extended biological half-life and reduces the toxicity. So the carbutamide having the toxicity, it is reduced by converting the amino group into methyl group, by converting into a tolbutamide. So next, coming to the next category, that is divalent atoms and groups in the classical bioisosteres. So you can see oxygen replacing with the NH, NH is replacing with the CH2 or S or selenium or telenium, and COCH2 replacing with the CONH, COO or COSR. So this type of replacement, that is two bonds it is forming. So you can see the atom or molecule having the two bonds, divalent atoms or groups. So you can see the best example, that is procaine and procainamide. Procaine and procainamide. So here COO O is replacing with the NH. So this oxygen replaced with the NH amide. Ester is converted into amide. So it is procaine is converted into procainamide. So the replacement of O by NH group given the procaine gives to the procainamide. So we know that procaine is a local anesthetic and procainamide is an anti-arrhythmic drug. So replacement of single oxygen with the NH, this much of difference is going to generate. So that is a divalent atoms and groups. So next we can see the trivalent atoms and groups. So the trivalent, so it is indicating that a trivalent means 3 bonds should be attached to the atom or group. 3 bonds. CH and nitrogen with the 3 bonds, phosphorus with the 3 bonds, arsenic with the 3 bonds, and Sp with the 3 bonds. So a trivalent substitution of CH with the N is commonly used in modern drug design. So in the most of the drug design process or in the drug discovery process, CH is mostly replacing with the N or N is replacing with the CH. So the substitution of the pyridinyl amino group by CH in meperamine produces the chlorpheniramine, valued for its short, powerful and freedom from sedation, which is an undesirable side effect of antihistaminic drug. So you can see that antihistamines, most of the antihistamines are having the sedation activity. This sedation activity we are decreasing by replacing of pyridinyl amino with the CH in meperamine. it produces the chlorpheniramine. So this chlorpheniramine having the very less sedation effect. So meperamine. So this is the structure of meperamine. So it's a chlorpheniramine. And next is the tetravalent atoms and groups. So this is the tetravalent, that is indicating the 4 bonds are going to attach to the atom or group in the molecule. 4 bonds. So in case of acetylcholine, we can take the example. So the replacement of quaternary ammonium group with the pasponium and arsonium analogues has resulted the greater activity. So by changing of N with the P or AS, arsenic, increasing of the activity we can observe. It is a tetravalent atom. 4 bonds are attaching to the atom, tetravalent. So it's the best example we can give, increasing its activity by replacing of nitrogen with the phosphorus and arsenic. And next come to the ring equivalents. So ring equivalents, we can give the similar type of ring system having with the same electronic configuration and shape. So the CH we can replace with the sulfur. So you can see the examples like this, benzene and pyridine. So benzene we can replace with the pyridine, the carbon with the 3 bonds replacing with the nitrogen of 2 bonds, and oxygen, sulfur and CH2 and NH like tetrahydrofuran, tetrahydrothiophene, cyclopentane and pyrrolidine. So these structures are similar, we can consider. So you can ring equivalents we can replace. So for example, you can see here, so this CH double bond CH double bond CH, if you are replacing with the sulfur, so the this weight of this group is 26, and if you are replacing with the sulfur, that is 32. So what will be the changes happen in the ring equivalents if you are modifying? So for example, compound benzene, if you are taking 80 degrees angle and 84, and methyl benzene 110, chlorobenzene 132, acetyl benzene 200. So in the case of this 113, 130, 214. So the substitutions present in this also, that much of not effect we can observe. So next coming to the non-classical bioassociates. So what we observed in the classical bioassociates, they are obeying the steric and electronic definition. But in this case, non-classical bioassociates, they do not obey the steric and electronic configuration of the, as like in the classical isostates, as they do not have the same number of atoms or replacement. So the hydrogen we are replacing with the fluorine. One hydrogen we are replacing with the one fluorine atom. The similar number of atoms we are replacing. But in the non-classical, we are not replacing as such what we observed in the classical bioassociates. Although many of these functional moieties practically just behave as one, they have one of the following characteristic features such as, but almost what we are replacing, even though they are not having the similar number of atoms, so one of the practically we can see these characters may be similar, we can observe in those groups. That is a dissolution constant, disintegration constant, electronic properties, physicochemical properties, spatial arrangement and functional moiety critical for biological activity. So example, we can see these are the different types of replacement we can observe. Halogens we can replace with the chlorine, fluorine, bromine and CN, and the ethers like sulfur, oxygen, and we can replace with this. So we can see here single same one sulfur is replacing with the oxygen, it will become as a classical. But if the replacing of this oxygen with this group, so it is a non-classical, not having the similar number of atoms or groups. So similarly, carbonyl groups, carboxylic acid groups, hydroxyl group containing different moieties, catechol containing different ring equivalents, thiourea related derivatives, spacer groups, ionizing analogues. So these are the different analogues or different examples we can give under the non-classical bioassociate. They are not having the similar atoms or groups what we are replacing in the molecular in drug moieties. So you can see some applications related to this non-classical bioassociates in the drug design. So for example, in the catecholamines, phenylephrine, that is phenolic hydroxyl groups, takes part in the hydrogen bonding with the bioactive site of the receptor. So in the phenylephrine, the phenolic hydroxyl group is very essential for its biological activity. So the hydroxyl group can be replaced by the other group having ability to undergo the hydrogen bonding. So it is making a hydrogen bonding in the receptor. So if you are modifying this hydrogen any group, so the group must process this hydrogen bonding, we can replace. So hence alkyl sulfamino derivative of phenylephrine was found to be retain activity. So you can see these two structures. You can understand this above the lines what I mentioned. So it is a phenylephrine structure. As we know that phenylephrine is a catecholamine. So this OH group, the phenyl linking phenolic hydroxyl group is very essential for its biological activity. So this OH is making a hydrogen bond donor in the receptor. So if you are replacing this group, the moiety should contain this hydrogen donor property. So this alkyl sulfonamido derivative, if you are keeping instead of OH group, so it is non-classical bioassociated. There is no similarity in the atoms. Only two atoms are here, OH. But here we can see the many number of atoms we are replacing. But it is retaining its activity due to the presence of similar binding affinity. OH is making a hydrogen bond donor activity. The same NH is having the hydrogen bond donor. So next you can see another example, a classic example of ring versus non-cyclic structure is a diethyl stilbestrol and 17 beta estradiol. So you know that the diethyl stilbestrol has same potency as that of the naturally occurring estradiol. The central double bond of diethyl stilbestrol is highly important for the correct orientation of the phenolic and ethyl groups at the receptor site. So it is the structure of diethyl stilbestrol. So it is a transform. So due to the presence of this double bond only, the orientation of these groups are present and it is fitting in the receptor and producing the biological activity. So due to this transform of this, it is having, if you are modifying this into a ring form, so as like 17 beta estradiol, so going to possess the similar activity. There is no much importance, there is no much change in the biological activity. The ring we are modifying or non-cyclic structure we are modifying into ring, or ring we are modifying into non-cyclic, so it is going to does not affecting in the biological activity in this case of diethyl stilbestrol and 17 beta estradiol. So you can see another example, that is sulfa thiazole derivative lowers the blood sugar almost to fatal level. Sulfa thiazole, it is an anti-diabetic drug. Sulfa thiazole containing derivatives so much of reducing the blood sugar level and it is leads to the fatal. This sulfonamide oral hypoglycemic agents arose based on this observation. So the modification involving opening of the thiazole ring to give a thiourea unit in which double bond S was ultimately replaced by double bond O, yielding the carbutamide, which was later replaced by the less toxic tolbutamide. So you can see this is a sulfa thiazole derivative. So this is a sulfa thiazole derivative. So this sulfa this is SO2 sulfa thiazole. Aza indicating the nitrogen, thiazole, 5-member ring system. So this is having a very much of reducing of lowering of blood sugar level and even going to produce fatal effect in the body. So if you are replacing that with the this moiety, so after NH only CONH is there, CONH, the C4H9. So 1 2 3 4 carbons. So the similar carbons we are replacing here. So one is NH2 is present means carbutamide, CH3 is present means tolbutamide. So there is no similarity here, replacing non-classical bioassociates but increasing the reducing the more effect of the drug. More effect of the drug we are somewhat reducing to the medium level. So next example is the local anesthetics bupivacaine. This is the structure of bupivacaine has arisen from the similar modification of the side chain of lignocaine. So lignocaine, the side chain we are modifying and we are converting it a piperidine ring system. So the considerably increased lipophilic property, giving a product with the injected between the third and fourth lumbar vertebrae produces the long lasting spinal anesthesia if you are converting that lignocaine alkyl chains with the ring system. Another example, in a search of improved anti-hyperlipidemic agents, the tetrazolol analog of nicotinic acid was found to be 3 times as active in the lowering of blood cholesterol. So in the case of anti-hyperlipidemic agents, this nicotinic acid is having the anti-hyperlipidemic agent activity. So if you are modifying this with the carboxylic group with this tetrazole moiety, so carboxylic group we are modifying the tetrazole group. So there is no similarity, non-classical bioassociated. It is increasing the 3 times of its activity, it is increasing. So this is about the classical and non-classical bioassociates, and we can see something that is related to this bioassociatism, that is scaffold hopping. So the functional group modification. So bioisosterism include the replacement of the initial molecular scaffold by a different one, keeping the same biological activity. So this approach called scaffold hopping is well we can understand this by using this example diazepam, zolpidem, zaleplon and zopiclone. So which exerts the same biological response acting on full agonistic activity on the GABA A, that is gamma aminobutyric acid receptor, and also at the benzodiazepine site through the being structurally different. So even though they are having the structurally different, the scaffold behind this molecule is same. Scaffold hopping. We can consider it as a scaffold hopping. So we can see here the structure similarity is there in these three examples: promethazine, imipramine and chlorpromazine. Structure and chemical similarity are not always synonymous of similar biological active compounds. So one is H1 antagonist, it is an uptake inhibitor, it is a dopamine antagonist. So having the structure similarity but having the different biological activities. And we can see that different structures will have the different activity. We cannot consider like that also. Why? Because here in these examples you can see different structures are there but having the similar activity. So an example of scaffold hopping, that is four different structurally different molecules have similar therapeutic properties by interacting with the same receptor, that is indomethacin, nimesulide, diclofenac and celecoxib. So all COX inhibitors having the anti-inflammatory activity. So you can see two examples are given. By bioisostetic modification we can reduce the toxic effects of the drug molecule. So one example we can see observe here classical bioisoster. So how it will be reducing its toxicity. So one example here, that is linifanib. So it is a anti-cancer drug. So by replacing the fluorine into a chlorine, the toxicity remains the same. So here the red part in this molecule, that is a linifanib, responsible for the toxicity. So what toxicity it is producing means it is producing the nephrotoxicity. Nephrotoxicity. So this toxicity is due to this group. So I tried that replacing of fluorine with a chlorine atom, and I seen that there is no change in the toxicity. But I replaced this nitrogen atom of this amide linkage, replacing of nitrogen atom of amide with an oxygen atom, converting its ester reduces the nephrotoxicity of linifanib without any other toxic effects. So amide I am converting into ester. So by converting this a single nitrogen with the oxygen atom, the nitrogen is making a two bonds. So same oxygen is making a two bonds here. So it is a divalent atoms or groups replacement, that is classical bioisostates. So by this we are reducing the nephrotoxicity of the linifanib. So another example, that is pazopanib. Pazopanib, it is an anti-cancer drug. It is a potent and selective multi-targeted receptor tyrosine kinase inhibitor that blocks the tumor growth and also inhibits the angiogenesis. So this is a structure of pazopanib. It is also an anti-cancer drug. So this part is responsible for the hepatotoxicity of this molecule, and this part, not completely the benzene ring, only the some part of the benzene ring and the sulfonamide group, SO2 NH2 group, responsible for the other some activities. So I represented here nephrotoxicity, carcinogenicity, phototoxicity, ocular toxicity. All these toxicities are responsible by these groups. So I made one modification in the software, this NH2 group, the sulfonamide, the hydrogen I replaced with the methyl. So it is a non-classical, one hydrogen atom and replacing with the methyl CH3, that means 4 atoms it is having. So it is a non-classical bioisoster. So replacing of hydrogen with the methyl, the molecule is not going to producing any toxicity. So this example comes under the non-classical bioisosterism. If you like this video, share to your friends, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for listening.